such a long time. This is the official Monster Train 2 Lost Arsenal dev stream. It's really great to see everyone in the chat. I am Shiny Camille, the community manager here at Shiny Shoe, and this is...
I'm Albert. I'm ShinyAlbert, I guess. I'm one of the game designers here at Shiny Shoe.
And also the mastermind behind all the balance changes.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. So this is a really special stream. Not only do we get to show off some new material or some new content in Monster Train 2, but also if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, if you have any, I don't know, if you want to get into the nitty gritty of all the changes that are in Lost Arsenal, this is the guy to ask.
Yeah. You can also throw any lore questions at me because I'm like the unofficial lore master.
Yes, you are. Absolutely
well.
The unofficial. I would call you the official lore master. You have definitely been the one pulling together like the lore Bible. But so speaking of lore and Monster Train and Lost Arsenal, here we go.
Yeah, so I guess we can get started by just looking at all the new things that we added to Lost Arsenal. So like Lost Arsenal has 15 new cards, 5 Clanless cards, and then 10 like rooms and equipment and spells and other stuff for one for each clan essentially. So let's go over like let's see, do we have everything? Let's go over like the first 5
Yeah, do you want to start with Clanless or Clan?
Yeah, let's start with the Clanless. They're the easiest to like look over. Yeah, let's take a look.
All right. Oops. Let's do that. Sorry for all the typing noises. Here we go.
Let's see.
And also we have a first question. Any interesting ideas that got left in the cutting room floor? Like anything that you wish you could have done?
Oh, yeah. Gosh. We had so this is like actually I'll go over this when I'm talking about the, we can go over it now. Well, I had an idea for a melting remnant equipment that used to be resin blades. Resin blades right now is one of the new cards for melting remnant, which is like basically like an endless equipment. This idea of an equipment with endless, because you normally can't add endless to an equipment. So what would it look like for it to come back to your hand every time? And so this was resin blades. It's actually also one of the suggestions. I think Rising Dusk had this idea, had this suggestion for resin blades, and I think it was an infusion for Monster Train 1 a long time ago. But before this was even resin blades, this used to be a equipment that just gave units endless. So it used to be called, I think, Ring of Recall or Ring of Return. So the idea was basically it's a ring. And you conquer death, I guess, thematically. Yeah. And then if you put on a unit, it comes back, and the unit doesn't have endless. It just gives endless to whatever unit. So it's basically like a one-stop shop for it to come back. Essentially, it just wasn't interesting enough for it to like really pan out. And then we also just turned that idea into Memorial for the Melted, which is a room that gave friendly units endless. So. We have a bunch of ideas that never even just made it in, just because there's only 15 or so cards we're adding, and so I think there's a few more. If you ask me again, I might think of another one. I'm not sure. I kind of jumped the gun and just went straight for this.
No, that's fine. That's fantastic. Do you want to go back to? Let's see. We also have a comment. Sorry, go.
So glad you didn't turn Hollowed Halls into a room, even though it would have been the most flavorful thing to do. Yeah, that was the first thing we tried. Yeah, we tried Hollowed Halls as a room. Let's look at Hollowed Halls actually. Hollowed Halls. What this was when we tried it was it would do the same thing that it does now. It kills everything on your floor and reforms until it exceeds the capacity. It would just do that at the end of every turn. And what happened was, we could tune it so that it's like strength was the same. It's like cost 3 ember right now. So as a room, you might not be able to like do things like reduce like the ember cost or like draw, do things that you can normally do with spells. So we were like, okay, we'll reduce the ember cost to 2 to make turning it into a room worth it. But then we found out that like turning it into a room just wasn't as fun. As like just using the spell and then like watching everything like die and then reform. So it looks like a room. Like Hollow Halls is literally like a room looking card. And we really tried to make it into a room. It just didn't work out. So yeah, I'm glad you're glad that we didn't turn it into a room, because we didn't, and if we did, then you would not be glad.
Yeah. Cursed for Sword. Hi Shinichi, wanted to start by saying I'm a big fan. Thank you. Big part of this update was finding identities for cards that otherwise didn't have them. What goes into the design process for designing which units deserved a new identity, and which unit, like Shadow Siege, for example, deserved to stay relatively the same or flavorless?
That's a good question. So there is. So let's look at Lady of the House, because you pointed out to the example. Before, Lady of the House was just Burnout 3, and she had 45 attack instead. We figured that. So this is a bit of like an old lore, not game lore, but like game dev lore, where units like Lady of the House and Lady of the Reformed used to be like the same unit. And I apologize if I'm like not describing this accurately, but they used to be like the same unit during the development of Monster Train 1 that got modified using this thing called like the branding system. So they were designed to be the same unit, but like an upgraded version of another unit, which is why like their silhouette looks really similar, and they have like very similar effects. The same is true for let me see, the Hellhorn guy. Let's see, Slay, Branded Warrior. Let's see, yeah, Branded Warrior and Horn Warrior. Yeah. This is straight up. So like this is like Branded Warrior was essentially like the branded version of the Horned Warrior. So like he's like same silhouette and everything, just like the branded version. We for whatever reason we dropped that system of like the branding system, but you know those like card art still remain. So there's some similarities. There's like some remnant like existing similarities between these cards. And what happened with some of these cards, I think with Branded Warrior and Horned Warrior, they have pretty distinct gameplay like mechanics. Yes. One's like multi-strike, one's Slay. Like you want to do different things for each one. For like things like another one is like Shattered. Let's see. Let's look at the Awoken ones. There's an Awoken Shattered Shell and Husk Hermit. This is another example of this where Husk Hermit was just sweep with no like additional proc, and then Shattered Shell was like sweep with the Slay trigger. Yeah. So after some time we were like, oh, you know, this like Husk Hermit is kind of like the less interesting version of Shattered Shell, and we felt the same way about Lady of the House. Oh, so we wanted to give them like an identity, because their identity like kind of was like non-existent. They were kind of just like stat sticks, which basically is what Shadow Siege is now as well, or has always been. So we wanted to like have less just stat sticks, just like units that have stats and that's it, and maybe one keyword. So yeah, we gave Husk Hermit like a new trigger where we felt like, you know, Revenge was very different than Sweep. You want to give them health instead of like attack. Yeah. Than Slay, I mean. And the same thing with Lady of the House, or Lady of the House compared to Lady of
for form. There you go.
Let's just pull up these two ladies. Yeah. So now, with Lady of the House, like, we never had like a unit or a thing that like scaled off of how many burnout, how much burnout that you had. And which was interesting because burnout is like very kind of like important for the melting remnant. Yeah, absolutely. In order to like sustain their units. So like having her scale and like stat wise, she's like the same. She starts out with the same amount of attack, but now you just need more burnout on her to scale. And it also like increases the value of like other burnout cards in the clan that you might not have used as much before. Huh.
Oh, hey, and also we got a subscriber. Thank you so much. Amphis asks, was dropped for upgrade stones?
The branding system was dropped for like upgrade stones for units and spells now. Yeah.
Fantastic. Also, Demon Fang 0. Hey, Shiny Shoes, much love to this patch. Thank you so much for buffing Alloy Construct.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never play that guy. Yeah, he just like, you put him on the floor. He was really strong once you got him going, but like he needed like an investment, and once you put him down on the floor, he was kind of useless. So we figured like he's still
cool enough, actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We figured that Umbra, where'd you go? There you are. We figured that giving him just like starting fuel to get him going, because he's already like a strong guy. With multi-strike 1 and just like good stats. Now you can get him going on the first turn, and like it's nice. Actually, I want to go back to Shadow Siege because there was an interesting discussion. I saw some discussion about people were sad that we didn't update this, and there's been a lot of like back and forth on whether or not we should change this guy, make him more playable as like the big stat stick guy. We have some testers who are like very like adamant about like, like this guy is kind of uninteresting, you know, we should change him, give him something more interesting. And then like me and others internally and some other players also are like, I kind of like that he's a big stat stick, and like that, like a bit like just like a big chungus guy, you know, that there's like some space for that to exist in the game. Also, I remember like a long time ago when I was like looking up people using this guy, Shadow Siege is used for a lot of like speedrunners in the game. Yeah, because there's like ways where you can like speed run like with I'm not sure on the details, but like him being basically, there's ways to play him. It's just they're very obscure ways. But it's not completely it's not off the table for us to change him. We're just like very like in the middle. Like we like that he's a big stat tick, but we also hear that like he is too niche to play. She should get +1 every patch. Yeah, just every patch. Just he's like a counter of like how many patches you pull out.
I personally like him because if you get him early enough, and then you can kind of like build your entire run towards using him, and then he feels really satisfying to use towards the end. Like you have to like augment, you know, how many pips you get per floor, and then also how much ember you have. It's
right now like you need both like a smidge stone and just like a lot of ember. And it's like normally we ask for you to like play a unit for it to be good. We ask of like one big thing for it. Like for example, for a lot of like 3 capacity units, like getting smidge stone is like a huge thing, and that really increases their value for you. Like reducing their capacity. For this guy, you can't just get like put in the 1 capacity. You also need the ember, and like he's just a big ask. He's probably the biggest ask of a unit to play, and we kind of like that about him. And maybe the payoff still isn't there. Like maybe his stats need to go up, just if you want him to still be a big stat stick. But yeah, we're still not sure.
I don't know. 200 attack is like a lot, so I'm
yeah. The problem is though, he doesn't scale. So like for example, like if you do end up playing him in like, you know, against Seraph, if you end up playing him in 200 attack and 150 health is still a lot, but against Seraph who is like 4,000 and like it's still not enough. So you still also need like a third ask, which is like to give him multi-striker or something.
Absolutely.
Which is a lot of asks for a unit. So we're thinking about it. You know, we don't know yet, but we might.
Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of messages. Where did we leave off? Can't even play that.
I saw a question. Will the game have more localization languages like Arabic? That I'm not sure. I have to ask our director Andrew or Mark about that.
Let's see. Let's see.
What if Shadow Siege summoned its shadow copies on the other floors too? Just like if you have a bunch of Shadow Sieges in your deck, and then I could see it if it summoned like a bunch of morsels as well. Like it's filled your floors with morsels. It could be interesting. Like maybe he just comes in, and maybe if he dies too, like he spawns a bunch of spawns a bunch of guys. I could see that. Yeah, it's interesting. Any possibility of new Pie Hearts? Ooh. No comment. I've always thought Shadow Siege could cost less, but do something like Ember Drainer, Slave. Yeah, those are interesting. We're throwing ideas around. We're thinking about it. We still don't even know if we want to change them from being a stat stick, but yeah. Anyway, this is not the Shadow Siege. Let's go back to.
Yeah. So let's see. Where were we? So
let's go back to the Clanless. Let's
Okay.
go into the new equipments.
Fantastic.
So, oops. So let's go over some of these new ones. So we have Exile's Diadem, which is like uncommon capacity reducing equipment. Basically, like if you can't pull a Smidge Stone from the shop, which is like almost like an essential for 3 capacity units, you can use Exile's Diadem. You can also use Exile's Diadem on your champion because you can't normally reduce the capacity of your champion. So that's like a useful thing that we felt like, you know, we could add to the equipment pool. There's other things like Iron Tongue. Iron Tongue is a new equipment where you have sweep. Interesting thing about sweep. Sweep is probably the strongest keyword.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know about this. Maybe it is the strong. I would say it's the strongest keyword, other than like maybe Titanite, where you could half all damage that you get. Sweep is really good, and people really undervalue how good it is to destroy like backline units.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like backline units, a lot of the cases like are the majority of the enemy's damage.
Yeah.
So being able to get rid of those like as soon as you can is like a big deal. Also, it hits the boss too. So if you are able to like combine sweep with multi-strike, that becomes really, really strong. So we knew we had to, and I talked about this in one of the blog posts. Maybe it was the article, but one of the
balance changes one. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that we knew that we had to do, because we knew we wanted to put sweep on an equipment, because we thought it was a cool keyword that, and it sucks that it's like so strong that you can't give any units like creative ways to do it. So we knew we had to like give it some sort of like trade-off. So the trade-off we gave it is like the attack is just capped to 30. It used to be lower. It used to be 15. Which what playtesters rallied for it to be a higher attack, so that it could get rid of some of the higher threshold enemies, which I think was the right call in the end. I guess it's still not too strong. It has soft that cap, but now with that cap, you essentially don't want to give this to like your strongest unit. You want to give it to like your one attack unit who like just like is one attack, or like your one like one of your imps, for example. Could use it to like just like sweep the backline and have like a dual purpose. Or you can give it to what was that? There's like that one unit in Awoken, Animus of Will. You can give it to her. Give her multi. She has multi-strike 2. She has 3 attack. Just give her a sweep and 30 attack, and boom.
And would multi-strike still?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like the reason why we wanted to put sweep on an equipment is because there's a lot of creative ways that you can like make it work, and that's sort of like what we're always looking for, is like ways that you can play something like in multiple ways to play something. So yeah, Iron Tongue is interesting. It could be, you know, it could be good, it could be bad for your deck. You know, it's not too strong, hopefully.
Well, I think the cap really helps with that, because like, I mean, it's true, you just can't.
Yeah, you can't.
If I understand correctly, if you put this on Shadow Siege, for example, would it reduce it down to... Okay, so it'll reduce it down to 30.
And he can't gain attack.
Okay.
So even if you buff his attack, you just can't... It's capped at that attack.
Okay.
But it also means if you have something that's like 0 attack... Or if you have like Sap, for instance...
Yes, okay.
Then like this counters Sap because you can't reduce your attack. Same thing with Equalizing Rings, which, yeah, it's useful. Let's look at what's next. Oh yeah, Stasis Crystal.
Let's see. Here we go.
All right, this is like the last Clanless equipment.
Wait, actually, before we move on, somebody has a great question. Does that cap also mean it blocks rage?
It does also block rage.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Yeah. So
another trade-off there. It's like you don't want to put it on somebody who you want getting a lot of attack normally. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, not to interrupt you, but stasis crystal.
So we added stasis crystal. We thought it was like we wanted like a sort of like a way to have that feeling of like having a unit that's like building up over the course of combat, that's like basically in a stasis and like becomes strong like the moment that it emerges like out of its shell. So like a unit that's like just getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and then but like you can't use it until you need them most. And basically that's the concept of stasis crystal, where a unit has stasis, like they can't attack, they can't block, they can't be targeted, but every turn they gain stats. Every turn they become stronger. And once you decide that the unit is like strong enough, you can click use their ability to emerge out of the stasis, and then out they come with like the upgraded stats.
So stasis has always been the hardest ability for me to like wrap my head around. Okay, so for example, if you put this on, I think, is it Soul Guard that has one of the paths that has stasis? Okay, so how would that affect it?
He'll just continue having stasis, and then like you could use the ability to remove stasis like early from Soul Guard, which is which is can be interesting.
Oh, okay. So this would override, for example, because I think there's like one of the past like Soul Guard is like, I don't know, it's like 10 stasis or whatever, right? So this would override that.
Yeah, right now that Soul Guard path also has an ability where you can remove stasis, but this can also have an ability. They kind of conflict because the other build, like he builds shards and skills in different ways, but technically you could do that, yeah.
But wait, you can't equip because of stasis.
You can't equip because they both have stasis.
Well, wait, can't I if Soul Guard is not in? Okay, let's go. Somebody also asked us, what does stasis do again? Let's maybe go back to the.
Okay. Let me review.
Yeah, I'm like
stasis is a status effect.
Yes.
And it basically, it's like you can't do anything in stasis.
Yeah.
You can't attack. You can't be targeted, but triggers work. So like your summon trigger works, or your resolve trigger works. So like let's look at somebody with like resolve. I don't know, like Cluster Kernel. You could give him stasis, and you might not even care about like the stats that it gives, but you just might want him to survive and just spawn a bunch of fungi, and that could be something that you want to do with the equipment. Or you could also give it to like Lunar Priestess, and let's say that she's on a floor by herself, but you can't keep her alive. You could give her stasis and keep her alive, and because you might only care about this triggering or something.
Okay.
Yeah, or Bone Dog, like a force field. Yeah.
That would be very cute. The goodest boy with the little force field. Wait, there's definitely another one. Weapons.
Oh yeah,
weapons cache for sure, and Echo Vault. We don't want to forget those two.
We still have weapons cache. Oh yeah, weapons cache is we wanted like ways to support more. We're adding a bunch of equipment, right?
Yeah.
We're adding a bunch of rooms. We wanted more ways to like play off of equipment, because unlike spells and units, equipment doesn't really have like ways that you could upgrade it other than deployable. So we wanted a card that plays well off of how many more equipments that you have, because right now the only other things that really reward you for having a lot of equipment are Lazarus League with triggers like Artificer. So weapon cache is like a payoff for if you want a lot of equipments, if you like having a lot of equipments, you can just keep drawing them and have them be easier to get. Yeah, that's weapons cache. And then the last Clanless one is Echo Vault. This is a very interesting room, a very interesting effect.
Why is it on? There you go. Yeah, all right.
At the end of the turn, the last spell played on this floor is played again. This actually was an effect I wanted to try on Luna Coven. I don't remember.
It does have a lot of Luna Coven feel.
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
it's kind of
I was like toying around like whether or not this should be the Luna Coven room, or like a new card for the Luna Coven, or if it should just be for like every clan. And ultimately went with like having it be for every clan because it really can be played for any clan.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
The spells are so like generic. Like there's so many things that there's so many like cool ways that you can combo this that I think I would be sad if it was only just Luna Coven that had access to this. So it's like it's really powerful if you have like just like if you play your last spell and it's like a really strong spell, like I don't know, like Inferno or something. So you can have like hypothetically you could do something like use Echo Vault in a room and then use Inferno in the room, and then you basically have an Inferno room because it will just keep playing that spell.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's like a basically your own Inferno room.
Cinder Shell asked, does Echo Vault randomly target, or does it have the same target of the last spell?
It has the same target as the last spell.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Winter, for answering.
Also, there was another question up here. Oh, I remember in earlier dev streams, there was a stated goal of making the end game 20% harder than MT1. Was that goal met based on run data?
Yeah, for sure it has. Well, I think mostly it's mostly about, I'd say we buffed enemy HP and like enemy attack and enemy scaling like a lot higher this time. I think it was like around 20%. But also some of it was to like compensate for the deployment phase, giving you an extra turn to set up units. So it's not like necessarily like we're not necessarily trying to make it 20% harder, but we needed to scale like unit enemies like a bit higher, like around 20%, to like match like the power that we were having towards like the new mechanics that we were adding and everything. Yeah. Will you please add a clear button for run history and more save profiles? We will write that down. We will get to that.
Let's see.
I think it might be on our backlog already. We've had like requests about like longer run history, more ways to rerun history.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Let's see.
You can turn up the microphone volume.
There's still some room. I have it. I have it at max right now. It might be.
Are we not peaking? Maybe I could talk loud.
I think it's just because we're also we're sitting a little bit back. We could also speak a little bit louder. It might be because I have a few filters on the mic because we are right outside of our office is, let's just say, a lot of noise.
Yeah, there's usually like
there's like a lot of noise.
A lot of buskers and people and yeah.
So let's see. I have it on max. Let's see. Maybe what I can do, I'll up the gain. Maybe.
Or we can move this closer.
Yeah, we could move this closer too. Let me know if that helps.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Where were we?
That's all the Clanless.
Let's
stuff.
go down to. Okay, here we go. New Monster Train 2 clan cards.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Let's go. Banished. Heaven's Ward. And then we're gonna do runs with some of these new cards as well. Yeah. So Heaven's Ward. Let's see. Heaven's Ward, think of it as like the rare version, because it is the rare version of Rising Rage.
Uh-huh.
Instead of like Rising Rage, where it's just like one angel that's like rising and raging, it's everybody on the floor. So like thematically, it's like the whole, like Rising Rage is like an assault, like a single assault on like some place in heaven. Heaven's Ward is like all of the banished are like rising and like reclaiming heaven, like flying up and advancing as an army. Even like the lore for this, we worked on this together. This is like a cool like lore tidbit of like just like the fact that like they're reclaiming heaven from like their former home and like so it's very like thematic and very like army, ascend, advance. It used to also not have that advance, but then some of the testers pointed out that like it was kind of awkward when you would ascend everybody, but then like you're like low. It was kind of like not very predictable how it would pan out. So sometimes like your lowest unit would like end up in front, and it would just feel bad. So we added that advance so that it would just be more like
really feel like you're leveling up.
Yeah, you're like leveling up. Yeah. And it also procs well with like the existing shift mechanics in the clan and things like that. So yeah.
Next one is Smelted Treasure.
Smelted Treasure. This guy, we love the idea of just like, I love, if I play any games, I love going for greed or
Absolutely.
like going for econ.
Yes.
And also like having good payoffs to like, because one of the things that you can run into with Pyreborn is sometimes like you have so much gold that you don't know what to do with it.
Yep.
And one of the other things that we noticed is that like Pyreborn doesn't have a lot of great survivability, and they usually need to rely on other clans to help them out. And that can be like that's also fine. But we wanted to give them an option for survivability and like a good gold payoff for like pay to win essentially.
Yeah, but that's like thematically appropriate for Pyreborn. Absolutely. If there's any pay to win clan, that would be Pyreborn.
Yeah, well, I hate pay to win in real life.
Right, exactly.
But
absolutely.
I love fictional pay to win. So like with fictional gold. So yeah, that is Smelted Treasure. And I think originally it used to be this used to be an X cost card actually. It used to be like spend 100 gold, spend 100x gold, apply 100x armor or something like that, or 50x armor. I forgot what the scaling was, but in the end we just decided for it to be like a spell, like a cost spell. Like it didn't need that scaling.
Monsemmel, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has a great question. What does Smelted Treasure do if you don't have 50 gold?
I believe it just won't give you anything.
It just won't give you anything?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Dusk Mantle. This is the Luna Coven equipment.
I do want to ask, would you say that Luna Coven is like your like favorite clan, or like your closest to your heart clan?
I'd say so. Oh well.
Yeah.
It's hard because I think my favorite to play can be different, but the one that I love, like just like their whole vibe and like is probably like the artists did such a great job for Luna Coven.
Yes.
They have like my favorite art clan wise, but I think I actually like playing the Monster Train 1 clans a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're like my most fun, especially Hellhorned. Yeah, because it's just very straight. Like you just you're just like playing demons. It just feels fitting.
Right.
Yeah. But I'd say lore wise, like I actually love them too, because the idea that they're not from heaven, they're not from hell, they're from like this place called they're from the void, we're the same place where the Titans are from, and like why they're there and like how they came to be there is like interesting, and like why are they like why do they take inspiration from moths, like why do they still have like wings and things like that. So that's very interesting. Anyway, this is all to go back to talk about Dusk Mantle, which is the new card. It has the effect where during new moon it has Titan Skin 5. So this is like another new moon card that plays well off of like being new moon. It plays really well with Eclipse Chamber, which ensures that you have new moon
all the time,
which is nice,
fantastic.
And we also felt like we wanted to add like another new moon, because I think the new moon path was the one that was like probably the most lacking in terms of like payoffs and things. So we just wanted to add like one that like felt like a good payoff, other than like Nightingale, which was already like kind of underperforming. So we buffed Nightingale as well. So hopefully the new moon feels a lot better to play, and hopefully like Eclipse Chamber feels a lot more like good of a payoff for the new moon cards.
So when you say underperforming, what do you mean? Like, how do you determine that?
Oh yeah, we just look at we look at like stuff like pick rate, win rate, stuff like that. Then we also like get a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
We get a lot of feedback from Discord, from our testers, from private testers, but then we also have feedback just from like the base game from like players in like forums or Reddit posts or F8. F8 is like the biggest,
huge.
like
Yes.
the most like, if you press F8 in the game, you can, I'm sure this has been talked before in a bunch of other streams, but if you're new and if you have thoughts even, because I really like, yesterday I was just reading someone's like someone had like a long write-up about suggestions for like adding gifts for a guard to like one of the consume event. Anyways, we read these. These are the ones like
absolutely.
we read these like more consistently than we read like any other like stuff. So like if you have any thoughts, feedback, anything, definitely feel free to press F8 or bugs, because it makes it really easy to figure out what they are.
Somebody did say thanks for the email. Thank you for letting me know that people read the email. That's very, very helpful. I never know if people find them interesting or helpful, so I'm glad that people are reading them. Why Winter324 says why isn't Dust Mantle something else for full moon?
Oh, mainly because like I think both mechanically, most of like the tanky units are new moon units, so we wanted to lean in on like making them more tanky during the new moon. Also thematically, like the full moon units are meant to be very like how do I say, squishy, because like the way that the clan works and the way that they're structured and the way that their sort of coven is structured is that the full moon units are they're called the Selene. They cast spells and they cast magic, and they're attuned to the moon. And the new moon units,
I wanted to pull one up.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like all of them are pretty squishy, and they're meant to be squishy. They're meant to need the new moon units to have them survive. So like that's basically why we're leaning into that, is to like to have full moon units stay squishy and have new moon units stay survivable. Because in the lore too, it's like they're very like new moon units. They're not attuned to the moon. They're like they protect the coven when they're like in their waning cycle, which is like when the moon is out, because that's when they don't have any magic. So
they have to be stronger.
Let's see.
What's the next one? Great Decay.
Oh yeah, I love this card.
I'm sorry, that was wrong.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. Here, I'm gonna let you drive that.
Great Decay. If you don't recognize from the card art, this guy is the prophet guy. Yeah, he's like the death cap prophet, but
his gravestone,
it's his grave.
Oh,
but he's growing back out of it. And yeah, that's sort of the idea of like this card, where we're decaying all of the cards in your deck. We're giving them consume. This was like, I think consume is like a really big sub theme for Under Legion. We have like things like, what does a Moral Mistress have? Etch, I think. Yeah, Etch, where it triggers when a card is consumed. We have like a bunch of other artifacts that get things from your consume pile. So we wanted to give ways to like play into that more and sort of have you give consume to all the cards in your deck. Of course, that could be an issue if you don't have a lot of cards in your deck,
right?
And if you like don't want consume in your card, like if you don't want to give consume, but like for Under Legion, they want consume, especially for like stuff like Etch, or for Madam Lion's Mane, who has that as well.
Yeah. Josh Louderback says, this is going to empower my love for Morel Mistress. She's my favorite card from Under Legion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mine is probably it's a hard question. Well, Fungi is like, yeah. He's not really a unit.
But
yeah.
He's so cute.
I love how like we got him to like stack up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, mix a lot.
Does the degrade decay cost reduction stack if you play twice? Yes. Yes, it does. It should, I think. And then
right. There we go. I like to show all three of these together.
Yeah.
I think that we did that in one of the blog posts as well. To show all of them together. Nice poster. It looks great on the screen. This one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we all signed it.
Oh yeah, all the team members signed it. It's really, really cool. Okay, so sorry, Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah. So Mix-a-Lot is like, yeah, this is the rare version of secret ingredient and mixology. Like there was only like three ways with potion kit to mix in the clan, and that's like sort of like one of the central mechanics. So we knew there was still room there, and like mixing a lot. Yeah, that's what it does. It just mixes a lot. But we wanted it to be like more like if you mix like 5 times, it to click 5 times. That would be kind of distressing during the middle of combat. We also thought it'd just be more fun if it was random each time, so that you'd have like this really strong effect of it being like you getting some random concoction that is just like strong, but you don't necessarily know what it is.
Yeah, which
fits into that very mad science like vibe of Lazarus Leagues. Like, let me just pour all my potions in this pot and figure out what's going to happen. It feels close to a different result every time. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah. I don't think I've played a lot with Mix-a-Lot, so I'm really curious. Maybe, which clans did you want to play?
We should go over the new cards for Hellhort for...
Well, we still have the new... Do you want to go over the last of the new cards? Or do you
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's look at...
Where is Hellhorn?
Oh, and if you have any questions about the new cards, how they are designed, or any lore questions or any other like stuff, design process, feel free to shoot your shot. How about we do Hellhorn and Lazarus for the run? I was definitely wanting to play Hellhorn. Either Hellhorn or Lazarus, or Hellhorn and Awoken.
Awoken seems pretty cool.
Awoken has like a lot of new changes.
Yeah. First time chatter. I just got here, so I don't know if you guys talked about it already, but I've seen some concern within the community about the Soulguard path rework. Are you guys feeling confident that the change will not cause problems, at least in the early game?
Let's
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So this guy got updated to have basically, he used to have like 60 attack, 60 health, and then he would have stasis, but it would remove after you get 4 shards. So after you incant 4 times. Now you sort of inadvertently nerfed to having lower stats, but he can scale a lot higher. So you need like to incant like 10 times to get to 60 stats. That's something on our radar. Like we're gonna keep an eye out. My hunch is like, we're gonna wait to pan out to see how the changes go, but we're definitely like definitely not against, and probably likely to have like a second patch to address like any things that like we want to change, or like missteps, or any other like sort of tweaks that we want to make after the new analytics settle in. So this one is on my list. I actually just messaged in the private playtester chat today. I was like, I want to see, but I feel like this might need a bump up again.
Actually, Infants, speaking of like, cooldowns and everything, how do ability cooldown lengths get decided?
That's a good question. Cooldown, so there's a trade-off between having low cooldowns and high cooldowns, where if you have a really low cooldown, obviously it's strong, but it also means it's more micromanagey. So like the more abilities you have, the more cooldowns. Like the lower cooldowns, the more you have to click around and like figure out what abilities are up and which are down. So that's a big trade-off on just giving everything like 1 or 2 cooldown. With like higher cooldowns, it becomes like a one-time use. Like, I can only use this once during combat. So there's like a threshold at which like a cooldown becomes meaninglessly long, where I just get to use this once. Actually, that can still be meaningful, but like I can't like 6 cooldown versus like 10 cooldown, there's no meaningful difference there. So our thought process is like, here we can talk about this guy. We can talk about one of the longest cooldowns that's in the game, I think, right now, other than the 99 cooldown one. We're talking about this new ability that we gave Reaper, Formbreaker Prince, which is this ability called Culling. Culling allows you to attack immediately, which means that like you can potentially proc your Slay trigger an additional time in a turn. However, as you can see, the cooldown is very high. It's at 6. Which is in the first 3 combats, you can only use that once per turn. Actually, no, in all, I think, all the combats, you can only use that like once in the whole combat.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting. Like, I want to be able to use this a lot more.
It's a mild term for it. It's like, it's pretty upsetting. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But if you upgrade this, you get to use this twice. You get to use this twice in rings, I think, for 4 to 6. And then if you do this again, you get to use it like every turn, almost every turn. Plus, I think the other thing with longer cooldowns is it means that like cooldown reduction things from like Powerborn is more interesting. And the reason why we went with like a longer cooldown in this case is because if we gave Culling 1 a really low cooldown, I think that would incentivize players to never get to always just combine Reaper with something with like the multi-strike one. Yeah. Right. For example, like there's no reason why if this was cooldown 3, like there'd be almost no reason why I would go for Reaper 3 instead of like just mixing with other paths. So we had to like balance that. And yeah, originally this was like even worse. This was like cooldown 4 and this is cooldown 2. And I'm glad we reduced it because now it feels like once you get to 3, it's like, oh, I can use this every turn. Oh, this feels great. I can like proc my Slay so many times. This guy also needed a buff, so like we kept the stats the same and just gave him this ability. So like he's just straight up buffed with this ability. So hopefully people like it. Yeah, that's some of the rationale behind the cooldown stuff. Where were we? We were talking about. We got sidetracked.
Well, we were talking about Rage. We were going to talk about Rage Room.
Yeah.
And also, thank you, Walrus 1988. No questions. Just wanted to say thank you for making and supporting Monster Train. Sunk more than 1,000 hours between 1 and 2. Avoiding spoilers, so off to play the changes. Peace and all the best. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Thank you. Yeah. 1,000 hours. I haven't had 1,000 hours in a few games in my lifetime. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's talk about Rage Room.
Yeah, Rage Room. Yeah.
Rage Room. Yeah. This is like a pretty straightforward room, but it's a pretty straightforward room for a pretty straightforward clan for Hellhorn. You just plop it in.
Yeah.
Units gain more rage. They get stronger. And we like the idea of it just being a room where the Hellhorn just breaks stuff. And it's like a real life Rage Room. Have you ever done one of those?
Yes, absolutely.
You have? I've been always wanting to do one.
They're fun.
Really? That'd be cool. Maybe I'll make an appointment. Let's channel my inner Hellhorn.
Or another one that's really fun is, do you know those axe throwing ones? Yeah. That's like has that same energy where you like,
yeah. Have you ever done any like fighting sports like martial arts or anything?
No, not really.
I would say like the feeling that you get from like fighting or like sparring is very cathartic. That's what I imagine like a Rage Room.
Which martial art did you do?
I used to do Taekwondo.
Really?
As a kid, yeah.
That's really cool. I always wanted to. I tried Krav Maga once, and I got scared, and I was like, "No, I don't think this is for me." And but maybe it's because that's also like Krav Maga instead of like. Taekwondo.
I actually don't know what that is, but you'll have to tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you later. Yeah. Anyway, Rage Room.
Yeah. So Rage Room. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Right. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And we like that. Let's look at. Old growth. So this guy.
I think this is one of my favorites, honestly. Yeah.
We were talking about like secondary balance changes. Fair warning, I have a soft feeling this is too strong. But
No, don't.
I want to see like how it pans out. But like I've been playing it a lot, and it's just like so I get so much health. But you know, we'll see how it pans out. Awoken in general has gotten so many buffs this patch because they were one of the most underperforming clans, and then we also nerfed some of their we also nerfed like one of like a few of the things that was like bumping up their win rates, which was Awoken's rail spike, which like players could get infinites out of that, and then also there's an exploit with one of the spells where you could reduce the HP of the Titans and just kill them. But anyway, yeah, so we figured we needed to buff them a lot, and so not only did we buff them a lot, but we gave them this really strong equipment, and we also added like a bunch of new avenues of like granting max health. So actually, let's just go over some of these new. Yeah, we have. Oh, I forgot to mention we also reworked some cards. So,
Well, that you said that during the run. If you want to do a woke,
yeah. But yeah, so old growth is like you gain 10 max health every time you heal, and it's one of the ways where we don't have a lot of ways where you can scale health in the game, and some of it was due to the fact that Offering Monument, like if we had this during the like while we had Offering Monument, like also reduce its HP and draw, like that design for Offering Monument prevented us from being able to grant max health or scale max health in the way that we're doing now for Awoken. So now like that's a more mechanic that's opened up, and like now like we can introduce like an equipment like this where you can plop it on Awoken Hollow or you can or Thorned Hollow, and they just get really, really massive.
Please don't nerf old growth. I really like it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how. But you know, we don't want it to be weak. It's still a rare card.
Yeah.
Even if we do decide to nerf it, it's gonna be crazy strong no matter what. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Frost Piercer.
Let's see. How are turning storage room and rage rooms? One interesting side effect of this update is that Superfood Primordium is probably the best champion in the game right now. Yeah, Superfood Primordium with equipment is very nice. Frost Piercer. Oh, yeah. This is a new Stygian equipment where you apply Frostbite equal to half of the damage dealt. I've always liked the idea of like doing something based on how much damage that you dealt. Because there are other ideas for this where it would be like strike, apply Frostbite 6 or something. And that was already very similar to like other things that in the clan. So we wanted to have something like that felt more dynamic, where however much Frostbite that you were applying was really like dependent on like how strong this unit was, which can lead to some really crazy strong, like really high amounts of Frostbite. Which is why it's also half, because if it was like equal to the amount of damage dealt, if you deal 100 damage, it's 100 Frostbite, which is kind of insane. So
the Cursed Tor Sword had a great question. Does this round up or down?
I think we always round up, but I'm not sure.
Confirmed.
If it's 101, oh, no, I think it's round down because it's like an integer divide. So I think it is rounded down. But if you had one damage, I think it would still do 1 Frostbite. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I tested those edge cases.
Shilton asks, how does this kind of effect compare to replacement? Like apply Frostbite instead of dealing damage?
I don't know. I don't know if I understand that question.
Understand either.
Apply Frostbite instead of dealing damage. Oh, I see. Oh, like instead of basically it just means that like you can still kill the unit with damage. It becomes like a double whammy. I like the idea of like it being like replacing damage, like the amount of Frostbite that you dealt, you don't deal any damage at all. But I think with the way that the game works, it's a lot easier if we just have it deal damage. We don't have like built-in replacement effects, and we'd have to build that out. So I like this was a lot easier to implement. I think it's just more straightforward as a player to play. But I don't dislike the idea. I think it's like, yeah, oh yeah. Don't, I understand. I think it's a fun idea. Actually, I think it's interesting. Might even be, yeah, interesting future mechanic.
Let's see. All right, we got 2 more resin. Wait, we already talked about resin blades.
We did talk about resin blades. Yeah.
So let's do Glutton's Maw, and I think we got here we go. Love it.
Destroy. Glutton's Maw has the ability Chomp, where you can destroy a friendly unit and gain stats. And this also triggers Gorge and Eaten.
I was gonna ask. I was like, wait. So, for example, if you destroy a unit that has 15 attack, do you also? So does it become 30 attack?
It doesn't get. You don't get the attack from the unit, but you get just like 15 attack, like just flat for 15 attack.
Okay.
But if you eat a morsel, you also gain the morsel's like bonus. So if the morsel gives you like damage shield from eating it, you also get damage shield.
Amphids asks a great question. Does this slay?
That's a good question, Amphids. I don't remember, but I think that it does because it's associated. I think the way the tech is set up is it's associated with that unit, like that destruction. So like even if they're not doing directly damage, it still counts as a slay.
See, these are all the really good questions that
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you're here because otherwise I don't know.
I'm like, I'd say 90% confident that it's a slay.
Okay, let's see. Oh, are you happy with how Frostbite spells work out in Monster Train 2? I find Stygian Guard a very strong clan on COVID-10, or not COVID, Covenant.
Oh, it's fresh in our minds.
I know,
still.
right? Covenant 10, but that's despite most of their Frostbite cards, not because of them.
Yeah, Frostbite, those like mechanics where there's only like that are specific to a clan are interesting because they can be very narrow. So like if you're not going Frostbite, anything that gives Frostbite can sometimes feel like oh, I never want to take this. Sometimes it's not the case. Like sometimes there's cases where oh, let me just take this because it's an AoE and it'll get rid of their backline. Because like the more that usually that you invest in something narrow like Frostbite, the higher the payoff is. So it incentivizes like leaning hard into it. I think we're trying to find ways of like doing that less of like of like still having like sort of like tidbits that are like specific to the clan. Like I guess with like fungi, there's like different ways to spawn units, but spawning is like generically useful. Frostbite can also be generically useful. I guess there's this long way of answering like there's like good things and bad things about Frostbites, and so like there's always things that can be improved, but like I doubt that we're going to be changing upholding Frostbite. And plus we like just like applying Frostbite and seeing it stack up. Like that's a fun, and it's like a straightforward like damage over time thing. And I think without that existing in the design space, like something would have to fill that up. It would if it's not Frostbite, then it would be something else. I guess like Decay or something like that. So.
And that's it. Do you want to start a run?
Oh yeah. Gosh, I'm itching to play.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start a run. Dealer's choice. You get to. I think you should definitely. Yeah.
Oh, let's unlock.
Unlock. Yeah. Sorry, I thought everything.
Okay. Let's see. Oh.
I think you have to.
I gotta leave.
Yeah, you gotta leave and then come back.
Secret cheats. Oh hey. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers don't. Sorry.
I assume by this point, hopefully people
know.
But
there's not a code. We're right now playing on the dev version.
Let's do random
because we wanted to make sure that we could show off everything. You're gonna do Covenant 10? All right.
We will try.
Okay.
We will do this. Yeah. Let's see if we pull up any new. If we see something new, we have to take it. That's the rule.
Okay.
Let's see.
We could draw the new cards. Or sorry.
We could add our. We could cheat.
Yes, we could cheat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we want. Yeah.
We could do this. Whenever we do a unit draft, when we do a draft, if it's like not one of the new cards,
then we'll cheat and like do
For example, here we gotta go with.
Yeah, we gotta go. Yes, absolutely.
Gotta go with rebirth.
Okay, so we get to see this in action.
Yeah.
You'll only be able to use it once.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so which Pyre Heart did you? I didn't see.
I got random.
Oh, okay,
Everything
nice.
comes with. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's beautiful. Everything has Titan Skin 1. In the meantime, feel free to ask questions. This is a great start. Look at this. We have a tank along with Hornbreaker.
So I think I chose some of the new room, like the train rooms too, or something. No,
no, these are not new.
These are not new. Okay, never mind.
Okay, let's do this.
You and me, I haven't used them before. Okay.
So here's an example. I only get to use this once, but I'm going to use this like immediately because I want the attack. I want him to scale as early as I can. So I'm going to pop this once, and now he gets to proc his slay trigger because he gets to kill this guy. And let's just heal this guy. And let's speed it up. Is there sound, by the way?
Yeah, there should be. But if there isn't, we can't hear it. It's on. Yeah.
We don't need sound.
We don't need to, but also, let me know how levels are, you guys. It's been a while since we've streamed. Want to make sure that everything is ideal. Yes.
Please remind me if we see an updated card. So Restore, that's updated. Now that's Regen 2, and I think it heals. No, it's always healed 4. But now it gives a lot more regen. Yeah. So it just this is probably like one of the low-key one of the bigger buffs that we gave Awoken, because now their just overall healing is a lot stronger.
Actually, that's a great point. Let me look through again the patch notes super quick just so I can help out on that. Okay. I'll try to be on the lookout too for them.
Oh yeah. And look at this. We will survive.
We did at the A Curse 4 Swords. I hate to stall the run. You never talked about the new Resin Blades. We did at the very, very, very beginning.
At the very beginning.
We went over it just, yeah.
Let's just go over it really quickly. Because we only went over it really quickly in the beginning.
Yeah.
Resin Blades. This effect I think used to be an infusion from the DLC from Monster Train 1. If you infused just Burnout 1 and Multi-Strike 1. And then we added this allowing it to return your hand when this equipment unit is destroyed, which means that this equipment is essentially endless.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a keyword, but it is essentially endless because when the unit dies, it comes back to your hand. Kind of like Raft, but even with grafted equipment, it goes back. It also has this lore thing of it's like a molded equipment, and the molded are units that can come back after they've been molded back into wax. So there's a similar concept to those. And yeah, this one's really fun. It's like one of those boomerangs where it comes back every time.
And actually, before you close out the logbook, Moonlight June has a great question. Do you think Penitent's blood suit's recent change will be enough to make it viable? I usually don't find it very useful, and part of the community seems to feel the same. Thoughts?
That's a good question, because Penitent's blood suit's strongest downside is it doesn't scale. So it's actually really good value early game, because it's a 0 cost 30 damage equipment. If you put it on Archeon over the course of combat, that's 100 something damage over 6 rounds of combat. That's 180 damage for just this 0 cost equipment. The problem with Penitent's blood suit is that once you get to Seraph, it's kind of not great, and at that point it sort of bloats your deck. So yeah, we're aware of it. Right now as it stands, it's a good early game pick, but something that you'd want to remove from your deck later. It has really high value. We're thinking about ways to address it. We're not sure yet, but yeah, we're definitely aware of it.
Somebody also, as if Baco, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Question, shouldn't friendly units exploding with unstable trigger slay effects?
Shouldn't unfriendly units exploding with unstable trigger slay effects? That's a good question on whether or not the unstable belongs to that unit, or if it belongs to the unit that put unstable, or if it doesn't belong to anything, because now it's this secondary effect. Philosophically, if you are unstable and then you explode because of an unstable energy, scientific energy, is that you killing, or is that the energy killing?
Ooh, another question, and then we'll get back to the run. Here's what's a card? Master 10 says, "What's a card you want to change but don't know how you would change it?"
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Well, your penitence.
I feel like that's such a stumper. It's like, what?
No, there's definitely a few.
Uh-huh.
Like penitence is one of those where, like, there's like flaws in it, and we just haven't had like a good idea of how we want to replace it. Another one is like, some of it has to do with infinites too. Like, let's see, So there's an infinite that exists. That can be really easy to get to with important work, which is sacrifice an imp, and impish scholar. I think it's important work and impish scholar. It's one of these. And if you like get consume on it, for example, so we're thinking about ways to like rework impish scholar to like not have that infinite, but there just wasn't a way to make it not feel bad. So yeah, Shadow Siege is another one that we were talking about earlier of like should this guy remain a stat stick? Should this have a more interesting effect? And let's see.
Realize. Can you go back to Shadow Siege? I never looked at the art on such a big screen. I didn't realize it was a bunch of small morsels.
They're all tiny morsels.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
It's like a big construct. It's like an amalgamation.
I gotta look at the art more closely. All right, let's go. Sorry, I definitely want to. And keep asking the great questions, you guys.
Yeah, these are good. Yeah, these are good questions.
Peace outside. Ever play around with the combat preview showing one unit? Showing what unit gets slays and how many.
Ooh, we don't have a lot of summon effects. The comment for you showing what unit gets slays and how many. Oh yeah, that's a good polish thing. That was like, I think Andrew brought this up, of like adding to our list of like having like a little skull icon for a unit to see like how they. That I think that's a good suggestion. I think I'd want to see that.
It's on the list somewhere. If not,
I'll we should actually like.
Chat. Yeah.
I think it's on a backlog somewhere. We should actually like move that up because it's a good suggestion. It's a good idea. Let's see. So I want the thing that gives my Hellhorn Prince like more ways to slay and get attacks. So let's see. Hey, it's a new.
Fantastic!
Wow,
yeah.
Look at our luck. Yeah, so Consumer of Crowns got reworked. This is actually kind of like the second rework. I forgot what it used to be. It used to be. Oh my gosh!
I'm sure someone in the chat might know.
It's been a long time, but he used to like reduce its cost based on how many imps you have in your deck. And now
it says right here, cost reduced was from 8 to 4.
Oh no, I'm trying to remember what it was in Monster Train 1. Yeah, because it got reworked the second time for deployment. But yeah, so now it has this cool ability. Also, this one was like a good suggestion from one of our testers of like sacrificing an imp and then attacking immediately.
Yeah.
It just like fits well with his like thing. He's like a consumer of crowns. Maybe he should be of imps, but you know, imps are kings and queens in our world, I guess. Let's look. Dualism? No. Large stone?
Oh my God,
no.
do not put that on.
I think we want to give this guy health.
Yeah.
And then I always like getting these because they're pretty cheap and they're good value. And then I think I'm going to purge some cards. Like I want to purge at least one of this. And I'm going to purge one of this.
Botanic Afterlife asks, Iron Tongue feels crazy strong. I feel like there's no way I would ever not pick this card. Is it probable that you're going to nerf it?
I actually don't think, I don't think it's too strong because it has like that cap of it being 30 attack. It used to be a lot weaker because I was like really worried about it would be too strong. It used to be 15 attack. We like at that point you really needed multi-strike on it. At 30 attack, it's still pretty good. We're probably gonna look at like how the analytics pan out to see like how its win rate is. But my hunch is that it's gonna be strong. It's gonna be a strong uncommon card for sure. Like it's, but it might not be like a must pick. I don't know if it'll be a must pick every time. Because there's cases where you like only have like units that like really want attack or like you already have like sweep or something, and like it, yeah. But like if you have like multi-strike, a lot of it, I guess, then it can be very strong. So.
Ooh, another great question. As if Bago asks, what do your numbers show regarding the minor upgrades in unit shops? For example, the players I've seen on Twitch don't seem to pick the strength stone.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, the strength stone.
You want to re-roll? Maybe we'll in the
Oh
middle.
yeah, let's.
I mean, I know. Well, I know you wouldn't be able to buy anything, but like to show, like, okay, strength stone.
Let me just.
Why does nobody? Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, that's a good question. I think strength stone is like. It's.
I use strength stone all the time, but all right, yeah.
We do have analytics for minor upgrades, but we look at that less so than the cards themselves. Mainly because like these are pretty like static and like they've been tuned in the past. There was actually like a suggestion we just increase this to 15. Like there's no reason why I should just stay 14. Which is a good point.
Yeah. What do you feel? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we will. I think we might. I think I just need to look at the analytics.
Like, is it just like a psychological effect? Like, what is 14 versus 15 really? I mean, I know it's one attack, but like.
The one attack is not as important as it as like the actual like keeping numbers clean and like readable and like easy to divide by 5 is like nice and makes it readable.
Okay.
So that's like a major reason why. The other reason is like I think we just need to see if like we actually even need to buff this to maybe 20 depending on like how like it pans out.
Oh, but that feels like it'd be too cheap then.
Feels like it'd be too cheap. That's the thing too. So like.
Yeah.
That's like 16, 17, 18, 19, all of those numbers in between, like where would that right number be? But as far as strength stone being too strong compared to these other minor upgrades, we did buff some other minor upgrades, like the the mossy stone for Under Legion. That one was getting picked like not that much because it's very low, but strength stone does get picked like an average amount of time compared to other upgrades. Do
you mind if I ask? So like, what's the percentage of pick? Like, what's the pick rate that you're like really going for each like?
Oh, there's no set number.
Yeah.
Like it's all relative to like other cards. So like, you might like have a filter and like look at all the awoken cards and see how they stack up against each other, and then you might look at all the clans on aggregate and see how like just this clan's cards stack up against this clan's cards. And then there's also like things where like you might look at only Covenant 1, or you might look at all Covenants or Covenant 10, because there's different types of players that play Covenant 1 or Covenant 10. So it's like the number itself is not that important. It's mostly like how they relate to each other. Yeah. So yeah.
Let's see, I saw something. Oh, Botanic Afterlife says, thank you for your in-depth answers. This is why I wanted Albert on this stream. I'm really enjoying the update. Just won an Umber game with a new chomp ability and equipment. Really fun additions overall. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is definitely why I wanted you to stream, because I think that there's no one better to answer these questions than Albert.
Oh no.
What? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
did you
messed
forget?
up.
Oh no. It's okay, you can take a little damage. I mean, I know it's not ideal, but...
Well, we're just gonna have to luck and see and hope that we get our Thorn Hollow. Because if we don't, then we're screwed.
Wait, can you, which one, what is Hidden Passage again?
We're gonna
Can you ascend? I was gonna say, can't you ascend, no, the other, yeah.
That guy? Yeah, we could. Actually, that would be a good idea. We might die. It's not looking too good. I messed up. I should have played the original. But we do have a restart battle, but I'm just not going to use it.
Sheldon asks, are there any plans for more upgrade options for rooms and equipment? Like the ones that spells and units have. Let me know if I did that.
Are there any plans for more upgrade options for rooms/equipment, like merge into playable? Right now we don't have like plans for like more equipment, but like we are thinking of like how like what that might look like, and like nothing I can talk about. Yeah.
No big reveals. Let me read. Nothing here. Laugh out loud.
Oops.
Doesn't Awoken's Rail Spike nerf feel a bit weird? It targets non-infinites you can play with the card, and won't it be okay if it just couldn't redraw the same card more than once or twice per turn? Sorry, this is a really long question. Which would perfect... Never mind. I was...
Doesn't Awoken nerf feel a bit weird? If I understand that correctly, the second Rail Spike played at the same turn won't do anything. That's correct. It targets non-infinites you can play with the card and its copies, and won't it be okay if it just couldn't redraw the same card more than once or twice per turn? That is, I think that's correct, but like Amphid is saying, like having that as a card text is kind of hard to convey.
Yeah.
Like you can draw anything, but you can't draw the same card more than once per turn. It's just like very it's just very clunky sort of.
Just kind of the turn.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Sort of way to convey the text, and yeah, a lot of like the solutions are like not just like a mechanics problem, but also like a communication problem. Because if you play another card game like Magic: The Gathering, which has a lot more room for text can afford to be a lot more specific, and because it's a more crunchy sort of game, and like where the rules are very like sort of established and there's set phases where like there's constraints that we have where we want to keep cards clean and readable, and some like things that might work mechanically don't work within that constraint of like keeping it like accessible or readable, or like, you know, within like that text box, especially when you're reading it in German, because if you change the language to German, everything looks small because of how large the text is. Oh, let's do fortified pauldrons, which I might actually need based on how squishy my guy is. And Wildwood Sap. This also got changed. Now it gives +4 max health. It used to just give regen. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of new changes.
Ooh, do you think you need to heal your Pyre Heart?
Yeah, we might see new equipment there. This boss we just fought has Titan Skin 2, and that doesn't show up in the logbook. Fix when? Might need to F8 that. We'll take a look. Oh, Stasis Crystal. We'll see.
Oh.
Is it good for anything?
Take it.
I'll just take it. We just need to take it. And let's even... let's just get
Ooh, okay. Moonlight June. I haven't played yet, but is it Bullet or Bullet? I've only Bullet.
I refer to the scientists who named that.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
Path rework seems crazy good and more synergistic with the other paths. Low key now should be viable to pick one of each path combined with the Pyre of Savagery and go boom. What was the thought process while designing his change?
Yeah, so there were the original path was, I think, Harvest, which I was like already a lot of players were calling out for it being like sort of weak, which actually the analytics didn't necessarily reflect. Like it was stronger than some of the other paths, but one of the issues with it is that it was like sort of anti-synergistic, where you wanted all of your fungi to die, and in order to like get stronger, and also it was like a bit clunky to play because of that. And we also wanted like a sort of path that leaned in more into fungi, into like creating like spawning fungi. So it was like those two thoughts that came together, that like sort of amalgamated into that change. I'm not gonna make the mistake again. I'm not gonna play this guy yet until I get Ember. Yeah, Harvest. Yeah, we felt like we could. That was like something that we could have like improved on.
Ooh, Fortified Pauldron, fantastic.
I think I need to put this guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is he gonna push him?
It'll push him.
Yeah, he'll push him back. So he'll need to survive 13 attack. Let's bump this guy and then attack this guy. When are we getting a third Light Forge for tier 4 champions? Whew. That's a good question. When are we getting that?
I'm excited to see this though too. Let's see.
That would be cool though. Like imagine if Endless was like infinite, like it just repeated the same things on the map. It'd be very hard to design.
Okay.
Let's put Mute Shield on this guy so he can get his procs. That's not great.
That's well, you don't have to kill that.
Yeah, this guy's fine. I'm just more worried about this guy. Let's just try to make him. There you go. And let's just kill this guy. And do that. I'm not worried about this guy.
Okay,
he's like one attack. Yeah. He's just annoying to play to have to play against. We can use this, but I don't think we will. So there's actually a point where I think I want to just activate this so he can get rid of this guy.
Nice.
And let's see.
Ooh.
He's gonna get pushed back. He's gonna get pushed back.
Kill the guy in the back.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to cast too many spells.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
You can't, yeah.
And let's just get this. Have you considered putting piercing in the bloodsuit so that it's usable against chosen bastion? Yes, but like that would be sort of like the same as like yeah. That would sort of just be the same as buffing the attack again, or and it wouldn't solve the fundamental issue it would have where it doesn't scale late game. And scaling is like one of the biggest thing the game asks of you. So we have thought about it. Like it would be cool thematically because it's like a blood suit. Ooh.
I wish I could merge the death suit and blood suit into the ultimate penance suit. Can't you merge two equipment?
You can't merge them.
Oh, okay.
Thoughts on pendant blood suit applying percentage base damage? We have avoided that. There's a lot of reasons why we don't like percentage. Like it can work for sure. We do it with like a frost piercer. It's just that would just be like it'd be hard to balance against because if you put it on a boss, like it's always going to be good. It's like there's no like nothing creative that you can do with it. It's just like you just put it on something and it's good, which is fine for a common equipment for it to be straightforward. It's just like do we want that? I don't think actually we want this. Yeah, I'm skipping. Yeah.
More ember maybe? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Can finally use that. Yeah, like something like shift increases damage by 1 permanently. That would be viable. It's hopefully it doesn't. If we did try that, hopefully it wouldn't be too much text. But that's something that we would like. That's like in the realm of like what we would try. What do you think we should go? More health?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because then I was gonna say you should maybe get.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, that's great. Or armor, or melee weakness. Oh gosh, so this could be interesting because if I put this before the other Slay guy, then he'll get a lot of procs.
Winter, I was just about to say that. I want to see what's going to happen. Like, I want to put Stasis Crystal on, because we were talking about that.
Or Stasis Crystal on Horned Warrior. That's a good suggestion, too.
Here's a fun question. Which one is your favorite? Which Titan is your favorite?
Dominion. Yeah. He just feels like a...
I think Savagery's fun.
Savagery's fun. He's like Ares. He just like wants war.
Just Ares?
Yeah, he just wants war. I'm not gonna upgrade. Let's remove another card from my deck. Let's get rid of one of these spells.
Ooh, that's also a great question. Peace Outside asks, when players duplicate cards, does that factor into pick rate in your analytics?
I think pick rate only tracks drafts, so I don't think it does. So it doesn't count. It doesn't count towards a pick. I'd have to ask our engineer Steve on how that's collected, but I believe that's how it works.
We should do a post maybe of like, oh wait, no, I think Andrew specifically does not want people to know how we analyze. But I know that players would love that post.
The reason why we don't, I mean, I think we've shared some with our private testers, but we generally don't share like hard like, oh, this might be wrong. Oh, it's okay. Hard like analytics of like which clans are the strongest or which card is like the strongest. It's because it actually generally like leads people to believe that's true. So it becomes like almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy when sometimes it's just the data that's just like showing that.
Yeah.
And it's not like, and it might even be like taken from something from like that's skewed like oh like this card might be the strongest, but it's only in Covenant 1 versus Covenant 10, or like only when you're playing Awoken, or like there's so many other factors too that like this guy's gonna die probably.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Let's see. Let's draw a unit.
What are your favorite clans to play with, and not which you think is best? So like which one's just like the most fun, not necessarily which one.
Oh, I think Hellhorn, and I like Umbra a lot too.
Umbra's great.
I love playing Umbra, just like stacking morsels and like getting as much as they can. They've gotten some buffs this patch. What statistics do you collect exactly? So things like pick rate, win rate, like how much health you lose on average per battle, like things like things that covenant, like different covenants. Also like events, like which options are picked, things like that. I actually don't think I want to kill anything on this floor because then, yeah. So I think I'm just gonna do that.
Monsville asks, are you happy with the balancing for the Celestial Alcove events? I'm always a bit unhappy when I get Gremlin Looter feels a bit too weak, or Dante feels too strong and always warps to run around him.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So some of the events are like meant to. The events are afforded a lot more variability than other things because it's like a random thing. Like it can be something really really good, or something that's like the Gremlin thing that's just like, oh, this is like nice, but it's not necessarily great. And that's also why we always give you the option to leave, because sometimes an event always has like a trade-off, like a negative trade-off. So I think we're generally happy, and like they are like sort of like they're not balanced amongst each other necessarily, like and they're not meant to be. Like some events can skew runs in a lot bigger ways than other events, which are like some like that are smaller but like are more consistently good. Like for example, like Dante doesn't always work if you don't want blights in your, like there's a bunch of reasons why you might not want Dante in your deck, but there's some reasons where like if you're taking a consume card, it doesn't bloat up your deck too much. It's usually like a decent like rare card. So they're generally happy, but we're always capable of like needing change or like needing something tuning. So if Dante is too strong, we might need to nerf him. We probably won't nerf him. I don't think we'll nerf him. Let's draw this last guy. I'm feeling pretty good about this.
I know, I mean, you're already floor 1.
Yeah.
Killing a lot of enemies. So is this, let's see. Yeah, look at that. Why did the first preview say new events? That might have been a mistake. You mean like, maybe balanced event? I'm sorry, I'd have to reread it.
There's no new events.
No, there's no new events.
But there's gonna be new events in the next one.
Maybe I got them. Maybe.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's already in our roadmap anyways
Yeah.
too. So. Oh, this one, tiresome climb. Great with the cost reduction. Did this one get changed? I think this one got nerfed actually, just by one. I'm not, actually maybe not. Might have been maybe just one cost. Let's see. Draw -2 next turn. I don't think I want any of these. Yeah, gold is nice.
Gold is nice.
Speaking of, let's go to Celestial. Yeah. Healing did
Here we
get
go.
buffed.
I like this. Okay. Oh my god, are you gonna do unstable? Do unstable.
Yeah, I always
chaos.
I always.
Do you
love
always? Yeah? Okay.
Because it's like it's actually really strong, and you know our partner didn't get hit last combat, did it?
No, I think you were.
Yeah.
Music outside. Okay. Please let me know if the audio levels are okay.
Here's something that got buffed. Freestone.
Yep.
It has -1 now. Before it was just, it gave permafrost and it just didn't. I would never take it, and like most people didn't take it either. It just wasn't that strong compared to the cost. So we gave it some cost reduction, and hopefully now it feels a lot better. Like I always take it now, which is nice.
Any new pages going to be added to the logbook, like ones that do different kinds of upgrade stones? Interesting.
We did add. I'm trying to remember if this is in. Let me check. We did add a new like section in the logbook for. I think we track permanent stats now. Let me see. I might be wrong. No. Maybe it's because it's a new account, but I believe in this patch, there's more permanent stats that track. So like things that gain like Bloodthirsty Blade, right? For example, that gains attack permanently. Now there's like, if you look in that section in the logbook, it tracks how like the highest amount of permanent attack that you've gotten on that equipment. So no new pages like that, but we did add something there. Yeah, let's take this.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
All right. I think that's like my least favorite. I mean,
I always take the trial.
Well, I do too, but with Penitent, it's just...
Yeah, it is annoying.
It is annoying. Alright. No, God, sorry if I'm missing... Also, if I'm missing any questions, please let me know. Are there any plans to add a toggle for lore tips back to cards like in Monster Train 1? For example, the only place that, if I recall correctly, to see lore for relics is in the logbook.
I think there's no lore tips right now.
Yeah. Oh, Demon Fang also has a great... The scariest trial is when the enemies heal 150 when they ascend. Yes.
That is the scariest trial.
Yep.
I concur. I thought we had that. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I checked. Yeah, no, yeah. That was only in MT1. I don't think we plan on adding it. Also because it's like you can also see it like when you just when you like do it here, because it like having it is kind of like cluttered, and there's already like a bunch of tooltips in the game, so we're kind of like we're trying to clean that, like keep it clean. I don't think I want to use this actually.
Yeah.
To me, Under Legions feels seriously limited in their strategy to 2 keywords: Rally and Etch, and just generally as a clan they have the lowest synergy with other clans. Any thoughts on that? Yeah, Propagate is like really good synergy with most of the clans. It's not. I would definitely urge you to try out Propagate more, because I can tell you that it's like it is low. Like if you. It's for sure strong. We've had to nerf Propagate a bunch of times for some of the artifacts, where it was just like too strong. But I would agree with you that like it is Under Legion is like a very like self-contained mechanically, where they're like spawn and etch. But I think for some clans, I think that's okay, because that's like you kind of want to play into that theme. And there's ways where if Under Legion is your main clan, that other clans can help support that, like building fungi and stuff. Like, so like giving like being able to reform, like being able to reform like, I don't know, the green recruit or something like that. Yeah. Propagate on effects like regen is weak. Propagate on effects like damage shield and multi-strike. You can't propagate multi-strike. On damage shield is very strong.
Joe32 asks, will you guys ever increase the ascension level?
If we ever did, it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be my call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's put this guy in the back.
Oh, who did you put me chill? I was gonna say you should put me chill on him. Lazarus League loves Under Legion.
That's true. Lazarus League is like the opposite. Lazarus League like also is like a very big support.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because they have like a lot of like generically useful cards, like Minds of Their Own, where like everybody just attacks. Is like one of those. If your analytics collect the highest damage on a unit, how surprised were you when you saw Baron Grail having 76 million damage? We have, so unfortunately we don't track how like the highest damage, partially because we know that like,
so people are getting like crazy.
We're gonna have like integer overflows
yeah.
of like, that, and we're very aware of that. So,
oh wait, if that guy goes,
oh shit,
goes up, then
I just realized, oh, why did I stasis this guy?
Wait, what's his cooldown?
It's on cooldown. I think we're dead.
Oh man, okay.
We're doing no undos.
What's a mechanic?
I was distracted.
No, it's okay.
No.
I mean, you're doing a lot.
Oh, that was such a good run. We had it all. We had it set up.
Oh
and we
man.
reached level 10.
Well, I mean, still, you did really, really well.
Yeah.
Let me, okay, wait. What's the mechanic build archetype you'd want to add to the game but can't? Did we answer that one?
Let me see. Where is that? Oh, what's the mechanic build archetype do you want to add? Ooh. We were trying out like when we were deciding these MT2 clans, we were trying out like clans that had to do with like fuel and things like that. It just that like fuel is like very hard to like. We were trying to fuel's very hard to like create a clan out of because the whole clan becomes around managing fuel, which feels kind of like, which can work, but like it sort of like shuts out any other thing that like might not use fuel. That's one thing. There's like other mechanics like percentage stuff. Like we tried like we flew that idea by, but we were like, we don't think that would work well. Things like other mechanics that would be cool are like, oh, your leftmost card gets something, or like, you know, your rightmost, like things that like yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Does information for, okay, let's do this one last question and then I'm gonna let you get back, you know, to making more Monster Trains. No, okay. What else, like, for your break into getting back to your day? All right. Last question. Does information for Pyre of Dominion affect draft analytics differently? Since I think we kind of answered that maybe? Or it's
they do, but like that's just like more drafts, for example. So it doesn't really like change anything that much. Like, since you're still picking cards amongst each other and like over like the huge amalgamation of like all the drafts that are like in the game, that's going to be like a drop in the bucket. So it does count as a draft, but it doesn't really affect anything.
I'm gonna go back to the outpost because I hate seeing the defeat there. But I think all things considered, you did really, really well. I can't believe that you were able to answer all these questions and play at the same time.
Yeah, that's
insane. And look at the patch notes.
I'm glad I took unstable. I just wish I paid more attention to the fact that I took unstable.
Adds a certain spice to the run, which is really great. Thank you so much to everybody who joined and who asked such amazing questions. This is fantastic. This video will be on the YouTube channel as soon as I get it up. Thank you to Albert for streaming with me today. It's really great that we were able to make this work. And if you haven't already, I don't know, if you haven't played Monster Train 2, definitely go check it out. Also, you know, it's on Steam. There's all the patch notes. Here we go.
Yeah.
The demo, I guess, also the bot did not update this message, but also you could play the demo or just go check it out on Steam. Generally, there's the patch notes. There's all the cards and descriptions. If you haven't signed up for the Shiny Shoe newsletter, definitely do that. I think there's a link on below on the channel. And also come hang out in Discord. We're always on hanging out there, basically. You could talk to Albert or the engineers if you have bug reports.
We got bug reports, feedback, F8, Discord, or like even like in chat in these streams. These are like the best ways. Like if you have like a burning question, if you want like an insight into the design process or anything, feel free.
Yeah, the Winter, you're right. I gotta make sure that, I don't know what went on with the bot, but anyway, go check out Monster Train 2 on Steam. Thank you again to Albert. You were amazing. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you around. Have a nice day.
Yeah.